Total War. Games filled with the promise of economic stimulation mixed with massive brutal battles where 2 challenges go in and only 1 comes out. This series of games started in the year 2000 with Shogun Total War. Although simplistic compared to modern Total War games, it was presented beautifully with tight game mechanics featuring thousands of samurai engaging in bloody combat. This game was met all around with wide acclaim and spawned an expansion pack and a sequel, Medieval Total War. Medieval Total War took the battlefield from the Sengoku Jidai period of Japan to the early and late medieval periods of Europe. This too was met with wide acclaim, broadening the fan base and the market of the Total War series. With more factions, units, and gameplay functions, Medieval was an incredibly worthy successor and the predecessor to, arguably, the greatest Total War game of all time, that being Rome Total War. Rome Total War took the Total War series back to an age after Alexander the Great, where one of the world's greatest empires, Rome, was beginning to form into a powerful military state. The game itself also updated the graphics engines to a more modern, realistic representation of warfare. It was so beautifully rendered that it spawned 2 TV shows, Time Commanders and Decisive Battles. Again, this game completely changed the face of the real-time strategy genre of the time and inspired new mechanics and mini-games to come while also spawning a few unsuccessful copiers. However, it would not be long before SEGA, also known as the Great Destroyer, brought out the Creative Assembly before CA's partnered publisher Activision could make any formal offers. Not long after buying Creative Assembly, SEGA would also go on to purchase all the rights to the Total War games, releasing a string of mediocre titles from Alexander Total War to Viking Battle for Asgard and, God forbid, even Stormrise. However, that correlation does not equal causation, and this could purely be coincidental. However, the botched launch of Empire Total War showed that someone or something was causing the Creative Assembly to release unfinished, half-baked products. While many issues would eventually be fixed in Empire Total War, it would never be perfect, like so many video game critics argued that it was. In my honest opinion, the game can only really be enjoyed by downloading one of the many mods that overhauls the game. Then you have Napoleon, pretty good, and eventually a return to roots sequel in Shogun Total War called Total War Shogun 2. Now this, by all accounts, was the new Total War game everyone was waiting for. Although it was far from perfect, it was an obviously great step in the right direction, promising a bright future ahead for Creative Assembly and Total War fans. The final worthwhile mention of works from Creative Assembly in regards to the Total War series is Total War Rome 2. This game at launch was a complete and utter slap in the face to Total War fans everywhere. From the absolutely terrible optimization issues, the blatant lack of content showed off in trailers that were, quote, promised, unquote, horrendous AI, and game-breaking glitches made this game unplayable for weeks. I myself could not stomach the game until they released the Emperor's Edition, exactly 1 year later. However, do you know what the worst insult was? It wasn't the clearly unfinished game that I paid $60 for. It wasn't even the fact that Rome 2 ruined all of my expectations coming from the original Rome. No, what absolutely killed this game for me was the fact that there were 4 campaign packs, 4 culture packs, and 4 add-on packs that all costed money except for 1 campaign map which came free with the Emperor Edition. And all of these were released within a year. One of those being Blood and Gore. Yeah, that's right, Blood and Gore. I'm playing a war game involving 10,000 men hacking each other to pieces, but I have to pay for blood and gore? The argument is frequently made that, oh, they don't do that, they do it to get a T rating. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Then why isn't it 25 cents? Why isn't it a free DLC like the Wonders and Seasons add-on was? Why was it $3 fucking? Oh right, and then there was Attila, yeah. Attila was aight. So that brings us to Total War Battles Kingdoms. A game that trades in the trademark battles and replaces them with lane combat. That takes a sprawling, beautiful map of Japan or Europe where you can conquer the world and defeat your enemies through strategic, tactical maneuvering, and it replaces it with this? We're in medieval Total War. I could build a castle in less than 4 turns, but now I have to wait for insert this many number of hours to till grass for cattle? Where once strategic, tactical brilliance determined who won the battles, and not who has the fatter wad of cash. This game, as we all know, is the most recent game featuring the Total War moniker, and I've decided to dispel multiple arguments made against my opinion and rant before I explain exactly what is wrong with this game. The first thing is, this is a mobile game. It's not meant for PC. Well, obviously it is, because they released it on the PC before they released it on any mobile device, any tablet, anything. It was on PC first, thus making that argument completely and utterly invalid. The grass doesn't need to be tilled to build a house on it. Yes, I realize the grass does not need to be tilled now. I made a mistake, and I'm so glad so many people took the time to tell me so nicely that I had done it wrong. Thanks, guys. I couldn't have done it without you. This isn't a Total War game. Blah, 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 blah. This is a mobile game. Yeah, this is still a Total War game. And you know why? Because it has the Total War brand name. With the Total War samurai guy on his horse like, yeah, bitch, this is Total War, yeah! So saying, this isn't part of the main series is still not a valid argument. Oh, you can get the gold in other ways. It's not pay to win. Yes, it still is pay to win. Although you can get gold by completing quest A, B, and C, that does not mean that I can't just pull out my wallet, type in my debit card number, and bam, I have everything that you wanted to get, except I did it in 5 seconds. It's effectively pay to win because I can buy soldiers, resources, whatever, to speed up this process of winning. The argument that everything can be gained by playing the game is completely invalid because I can just pay for it. Why would I even have to play it? Oh yeah, sure, as far as premium games go, aka Clash of Clans, Game of War, this one has higher production values. But that doesn't mean it's a good game. But CB, you can terraform the land and create rivers and shit. That's great. You know what other strategy games you only had to pay for once to do that in? I've also noticed a lot of people defending the battles. Just don't. Just fucking don't. Don't tell me this is comparable to this. Pretty compelling argument, right? Now, do you know what game had the same format as this, yet is actually more of a Total War game? It's called Dawn of Fantasy Kingdom Wars. Oh yeah, although not the best game in the books, it definitely took the idea of the whole timer method and made something that was actually incredibly competitive and also very fun. And it's done so well that they've gotten rid of any pay-to-win items, and it's gone completely free to play. And look, what's that? Is that real-time battles I see there? Why, yes it is! So why couldn't the guys who literally have fucking battles in the name make compelling tactical battles like they have in every other Total War title? Hell, Total War Battle Shogun is better than this shit. Now I know this just sounds like a pity party, and that I've got nothing good to say about the game at all. However, that's not true. It wouldn't be half bad if it wasn't made by the Creative Assembly, and if it didn't have Total War in the title. Now, if you've made it this far through my complaints, also assuming you made it through the history lesson, you'll have picked up on the fact that I actually have a profound respect and love for the Creative Assembly. It's a prestigious company, filled to the brim with talent and potential. They've been shelling out amazing games since 1987, so I find it really, really hard to believe that they couldn't have taken this game and made something good out of it that wasn't pay to win. Now you may think that I'm just complaining and whining, and you would be correct. Yet, I do it because I care about the direction of this company. I've played through these games, purchased almost every product associated with the Creative Assembly. Yes, even Stormrise and Viking Battle for Asgard. And I want them to succeed. I want them to continue pumping out epic, mind-boggling war games that play out battles on an unrivaled scale. So I hope that this game is only a bump in the road, albeit a bump that is in some serious need of repairs, yet not an unsalvageable road, and that the Creative Assembly, and even SEGA too, will actually change direction before it's too late. This has been Commissar BRO, and I will see you next time.